Welcome back for part 2 of What If Darth Vader Went Back in Time. Thank you for your support on part 1 of this What If. If you haven't seen the first part, the link will be in the description below. The plans of Sidious were proceeding as he had foreseen, but what he did not account for was the knowledge bestowed upon Obi-Wan. The Stooge-on Jedi had recently become a Jedi Master, and he believed his mental shields to be strong enough to resist the attack from a Sith Lord. Entering the Jedi Council chamber, Obi-Wan reveals the information he had kept for over a decade, and the Jedi Council are shocked at the revelation that Palpatine was a Sith Lord. If Palpatine was indeed the Sith, then his position of Supreme Chancellor had them all in danger. The Jedi are unsure on how to act, but decide they have to block any motions put forward by Palpatine. As it is discovered that the Separatists had created their own army, the Military Creation Act is proposed, and the Jedi have to block it. To ensure Palpatine is oblivious to their knowledge, the Jedi still dispatch Anakin to protect Padme, but on Coruscant, Representative Jar Jar Binks cannot be left to defend Naboo for himself. Sending Grandmaster Yoda to hide in the Senate pod with Jar Jar, they manage to delay the Military Creation Act being passed until Padme returned from Naboo. Even better for the Jedi, Supreme Chancellor Palpatine is not granted emergency powers. Instead, it is diverted to the Jedi, as they still held on to their reputation as peacekeepers. Palpatine's plans have been stopped for now, and he needed to adapt. Without his emergency powers, Palpatine contacts Dooku, and they divert the power of the inhibitor chips to a secret Separatist ally, but Palpatine continues to be troubled by the visions of young Skywalker, and he realised that he needed him to eventually replace Dooku. The Sith needed to turn the tide of the battle back in their favour, and Palpatine enlists the help of bounty hunter Cad Bane, as Jango Fett was occupied with events on Geonosis. The Duros Jedi fighter and Sith Lord put their plan to action, as Sidious gives the schematics of the temple to a service droid. With the Jedi distracted in the Senate building, the droid disables the temple security station, allowing Cad Bane to cause a distraction in the temple halls. The bounty hunter unleashes several detonators from the vents of the missions room, diverting all the attention away from the quarters of the Padawans and Knights. With chaos all over the temple, Bane follows the orders of Sidious by capturing Shmi Skywalker and takes her to Geonosis. On Naboo, Anakin receives news from Yoda and the Force of his mother's disappearance, and Anakin and Padme flew back to Coruscant, as expected by Sidious. The chaos provides proof that the Jedi are no longer fit to be the galaxy's peacekeepers, and the Military Creation Act that the Jedi had tried to stop had passed, even if Palpatine could not use it to his advantage yet. The Jedi's team of detectives are onto the case, and Quinlan Vos uses his psychometry to determine the route taken by the assailant, tracing them back to a small and secret docking bay, but the trail goes cold. Anakin's anger rises to the top, and even Padme struggles to contain him, but he's soon distracted by the capture of Obi-Wan on Geonosis. The Jedi did not have the services of the clone army yet, so they decide to take most of their own order to save Obi-Wan and potentially capture Dooku, hoping he could expose Palpatine. Landing on the planet with a multitude of random starships, they all charge towards the signal emitting from Obi-Wan's hidden transmitter, but stop as they saw what they were up against. Not only was there a large army of droids, but the Sith had the foresight to recruit the native Geonosians. The Jedi choose to use their aerial presence to their advantage, surprising the Geonosians by leaping from above to cut them down with their blades. In the midst of this, Anakin saw Obi-Wan and Shmi being rushed off by Count Dooku, Jango Fett, and a group of super battle droids. Anakin gives chase, ordering the Jedi to pursue the group, and they use their starships to fly out of Geonosis. Once in Separatist airspace, it was apparent that the droid army had been a distraction, as Dooku had prepared a whole new fleet, complete with droid gunships and dreadnoughts. The Jedi had no answer, retreating back into Republic airspace, but Anakin Skywalker had other ideas. Using the starship he had borrowed from Padme, Anakin weaved through the fire from the droids, and found Dooku's dreadnought. The Sith apprentice had just arrived, not expecting immediate Jedi interference, and Anakin lunged towards the Count. Dooku effortlessly swatted Anakin's lightsaber from his hand, but the Jedi was not deterred. Anakin climbed into one of the Separatist turrets and fired at Dooku, causing the Sith to leap away. Whilst the floor to the hangar collapsed, Anakin rescued Obi-Wan and Shmi from Dooku's ship and flew out, watching as the dreadnought exploded. Whilst the threat to Obi-Wan and Shmi had been averted, the Jedi were being hunted down. That is it for part 2 of What If Darth Vader Went Back in Time. If you'd like to see a part 3 soon, please like this video, turn on your notification bell, subscribe to this channel and my other channel What If Films for more what ifs. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next and how I can improve my videos. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.